Oh,
Hello.
I can hear myself. That's weird. Why can I
Hello,
hear myself?
Cupcake.
How about... No, I'm still hearing myself.
Oh no!
That shouldn't be happening. Why is that happening?
It feels like it. I don't know.
I don't understand. Is OBS doing that? Or is fucking Discord? Hang on. Did I say hi everybody already?
Possibly. I don't know.
Probably. I don't know. I'm just here.
Okay.
Okay, that's funny. As someone who's the same age as this character, I'm laughing. Okay. I'm sorry.
What?
Sorry, it's someone's handle as they're playing Overwatch. They're playing as Hanzo, and their handle is middle-aged. Canonically, he's like 38. That's why I'm laughing.
I'm still hearing myself. Technical difficulties. Okay. Oh. There we go. Say something.
Figure it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why that was clicked. OBS updated, so my settings got all weird. But as far as I can tell, we are recording audio properly.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. I don't really know what to say right now other than things suck, but I hope you enjoy the show.
Sometimes I wonder at like fan concept art. I just I get it. I'm not trying to bash. I'm just sitting here going like, the fuck am I looking at? Like, okay, dress the character up like he works at Subway, but the fuck. They made his dragons 2 like footlong Subway subs, and I'm like, what am I looking at? I just.
What?
She's
I will
talking
share.
about a hand on his dragon alt.
Yeah, I know the character, but why would someone do that?
That's what I'm staring at this. I'm sharing it. Don't worry.
Look, You're talking. Oh my god! What the fuck?
I know.
Why?
I know.
Why are his dragon attack things fucking two $5 foot long?
That's why I was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
What I love about all of this, and I mean this in the most sincere, loving way possible, your fucking fascination with a game you don't even fucking play.
I have no idea.
How the fuck you ever fell down this rabbit hole? I will never know. You don't even play competitive shooters, and somehow you ended up stuck somewhere deep in the fucking wonderland through the fucking looking glass of the lore of a fucking shitty multiplayer team shooter game.
I get it. Okay. I do not understand. Like, well, I know where it started. I just have no idea.
Kicked you down that rabbit hole? They need to die in a burning fire as bright as a million supernovaing suns. This is not where you should have ended up. I mean, clearly you should have been writing fucking Lord of the Rings fanfiction. Oh wait, that's just Dungeons and Dragons, never mind.
I am writing Lord of the Rings fanfiction.
Of course you fucking are!
Oh my fucking
you are.
god.
I was commissioned for 2 of them! I got paid!
I mean, like, the man, like, I gotta tell you, having just finished both The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like, the man could world build. Like, you don't understand half of what Gandalf is talking about in Fellowship of the Ring, and by the end of Return of the King, like, he's filled in these places that Gandalf has been. You now have a picture of what it looked like. Dying King of Dale makes sense by the end of Return of the King. Because he explains who Dine is somewhere in the middle, and you're like, oh, okay. You never meet Dine in that book. Dine in the Hobbit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, world building is a thing, and it's either show and tell, or, ooh boy, a mystery, in my opinion.
Now, do either of you mind spoilers for the Rings of Power series?
Oh, feel free. I'm never, ever gonna watch it.
I'm not watching it. I'm not... Once again, I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan.
That's okay. Oh, can't connect. What the fuck? Sorry.
All I know is whoever plays Elrond in the Rings of Power series, looks like fucking Tom Holland. I know it's probably not Tom Holland, but like
it's not.
It looks like him. I'm like, oh, look at that fucking young ass motherfucker. Somehow he's gonna turn into fucking Hugo Weaving.
Weaving, I know. That's what makes it funny. What also makes it funny for me is
face, and you find out he's such a goofball. It's like, how do you have that kind of face? That big of a Joker?
So it's funny. What makes it funny? So I'm gonna start off with. So he's BFF, and it's this after 20-year period. So Durin is a little bit peeved. Oh, it's only been 20 years. Oh, it's a lifetime for me, which is correct. For Tolkien elves, 20 years is like 2 blinks of an eyelash. But for dwarves, it's a little...
In Tolkien's history, all the elves up until the age of man are immortal. Like, 20 years is nothing.
Yeah, so...
In fact, oh my god! The entire thing in the, like, the appendixes after Return of the King, in which young Aragorn meets, Arwen, thank you. Like, he's like 20, and she's like, "You're a baby, shut the fuck up." And I'm just like, ah!
So, what's funny is, like, so you meet Elrond, and he's this statesman, and he's still a babyface, but he's starting to get that air of gravitas, right?
Right.
And so he goes with Celebrimbor, who is I think it's Celebrimbor, the famous elven smith dude.
Yeah, that's the guy who forged the Rings of Power.
Yeah. So he's there. He goes with them, and they're going to make what you write. If you've watched and read, you understand what you're looking at when he's showing Elrond these plans. Like Minas Morgul, like they're gonna end up. One of them is gonna be Minas Morgul. That Frodo and Sam with Gollum wander by on the way to Mordor. But they're like, I want to. He's like, I want to build it by spring. And
Right.
Elrond's like, and he's like, everyone says it's impossible. And Elrond's like, well, I got this buddy under the mountain, you see. So he's like BFFs with Durin. I just love this scene. Like, so, like, as I said, you know, the statesman elf dude shows
Right.
up, challenges Durin to this. I can't say it, I can't pronounce it because I can't really remember. But so they walk in, and it's beautiful. The under the mountain is beautiful. It's really great. So shows up, and it's at first with the drinking horse. I thought it was going to be a drinking contest, and I was like, that's typical. But what it actually is they're basically busting these boulders up. So they have hammers, and they're like busting them open like with one swing each.
Right.
And so eventually Elrond bows to Durin so he doesn't lose face as the prince of the Dwarven Kingdom. And then they meet his wife, Lady Dis, who, oh my god, oh my god, I just love her immediately. I'm just like, because the look she gives Durin, it's like, oh, I have to leave. It's like, okay, fine. And she's like, we'll set him on fire. Like, you tell him to stay, or I will. Thank you for.
And jeez.
Woo. So, Cupcake.
Ja!
Divergence Eve.
It's big titty anime girls, but horror in the background? Okay, so let me preface this with all of the box art, all the promotional art, all of it is girls in like either bikinis or like scantily clad, right? Like you're going like, oh, so it's like cute, fluffy, big titty girl anime. Yeah, so big titty anime girls, but like sci-fi horror? Like very, very strong inclinations of dead. Like they're in space on a space station, but there's like these undead things being controlled by this mysterious force that they haven't explained. I'm only like episode 8 or 9. So I'm not through the show. But like the more I watch, the more like it leans into horror. Like it's not holy horror, but like I said, like I'm watching it, and at one point they preface that 5 girls that are all trying to become like mech pilots, basically like not quite Gundam, but like walking bipedal. Like if they wash out or are forcibly retired from the program,
Okay, sorry about that.
they bottomize.
You're cutting out.
am?
Yeah.
Hang on. I turned down the gain a little bit. That would be that.
I just missed the last of everything you said.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit fuzz, but it's better. I can understand you.
Well, I'm trying to downplay all the air conditioners and dehumidifiers and shit I'm running because we're in that fun time of the year where it's hot, but not like hot enough for air conditioning. Yeah, I know. It's 75 right now.
But like I was mentioning, like her look was just like fire and brimstone. You tell him to stay, or I'll set you on fire. And it was absolutely. I was like, oh my god, I love her so much.
Mhm.
But it's so funny because some of the trailers, like you see the two of them standing together, and they're looking at each other like BFFs look at each other, and it's like. So again, like I think I may have mentioned this. To me, that makes The Hobbit even funnier.
Right.
Because you know Elrond remembers Prince Durin and later King Durin and everything that went down. And then all of a sudden he rides up on his horse and oh, hello Thorin. How are you? Like
Right.
But also, one of the things I think I was talking in the regular channel in Cupcake server here. I was like, this has to be Elrond. This has to be Gandalf. I'm like, who is? So you have the precursors to the hobbits. So like the Harfoots and everything like that. So, and they're basically they're wanderers at this point. So, sorry. And at the end of episode 1, you see basically a shooting star or a comet or a meteoroid going through the sky and landing on the ground. And it lands by sorry, I have to answer to something. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, sorry. It lands by where the hobbits are at this point in time. And one of the main characters, Nori, runs up and you find in the crater this human, or they call him a stranger or a giant, is curled up. And then Nori's best friend comes along and then they're like, like, we have to leave. We can't. This is a stranger. We don't know who he is. This could be dangerous. And then Nori gets jostled and falls into the crater that's on fire, but it's not hot. And then she has an encounter with the stranger, and there's magic going on. So, again, younger looking than Gandalf is in the Hobbit through Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. But still, wild mane of, like, salt and pepper hair, bushy beard. Can't understand what he's saying, like, or anything like that. But the reason why I was like, okay, the fireflies. So the hobbits have these lanterns that are filled with fireflies. And then Noria's good friend drops hers, and the fireflies come out. And then he's whispering to the fireflies who are in, like, by his fingertips and in the palms of his hand. And I'm sitting there going, okay, Gandalf does that with the moths. So I'm like, is this Gandalf? Is this Gandalf? I don't understand. Like, because I don't, again, it's been a while since I've read the Silmarillion, so I don't remember how Gandalf and the other wizards came to Middle-earth. I don't know how they were sent there. So I'm like, this kind of tracks. Like, I can understand, like, you're basically an angel, and then you're sent to the physical realm with a physical body.
Honestly,
and you're confused.
I think they come on the last ship from the west. Like, when is it Arnor? Or not Arnor, when the old, quote unquote, the old continent is destroyed, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
They come on the last ship from the west, which I know sounds weird because all the ships in the stories are leaving from the east going west back to the old world, quote unquote. But, like, they come as old men from the lands of the gods, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's bizarre in that the sense of, like, all 5 of the wizards never age. They're always old men.
Yeah.
And that's how, like, the hobbits, like, know something is weird about Gandalf, is that, like, Bilbo remembers when Gandalf, like, remembers Gandalf the way he is as a young man, like Frodo's age, as Frodo sees him when Bilbo is an old man in the beginning of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway.
That's okay. So, yeah, I mean, I can totally understand because the hobbits are like, dude, you legit have remained the same appearance for the past 70 years.
Right.
The fuck? Like my grandpa, who is 90, remembers you from 60, 70 years ago
Well,
as looking the same. Like,
it's the same. It's the same thing that happens in the beginning of the Bulgarian when the main character Garion is asking like one of the guys that like the smith, like Durnik, who is the smith at the farm where the gate where the story starts. He's like, oh yeah, I mean, Aunt Paul was a lot younger when she brought me to the farm, and he's like, no, she's always been the same. It's like, well, I'm 15. Yes, well, Garion, she's always been the same. Your Aunt Paul never changes. What?
yeah.
Continue, sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine. But yeah, it's very interesting because I'm like, so I'm not quite sure if this is Gandalf or if this is some other player that we just haven't heard of. And also, it's very interesting. One of the Southlanders, her son, found Sauron's sword. Basically, it's kind of like Narsil. How Narsil was broken off at the hilt with like a jagged shard still of the like. So you have like maybe like at most like 6 to 12 inches of actual blade left with the handle. So there's enough that you see the handle and the guard and like maybe the bottom of the blade with the mark of Sauron on the blade. And the interesting part is like the kid is sitting there and they're all leaving because the orcs have tunneled under the town. And she tried to his mom tried to warn them because her and one of the elves of the watch point that's close by, they have feelings for each other. So they went to check on another part of another town that was all burnt and had tunnels underneath it. So the elf goes in the tunnels to go look for what the hell's going on. And the woman goes back to try to warn people, like, I don't know what's going on. And then the people in the inn are like, okay, we're not going to start warning without proof. So she goes back to her house. Now, her son had complained about the scratchings of mice, quote unquote. So he hears it again and he's like hitting the floor with like a poker. Something to poke the fire with. And then there's a hole in the floor and he's looking down there and then a white eye appears and he's like, oh fuck. So you find out it's the orcs, or the predecessor to the orcs. And one orc that appears in their house, they eventually overpower, cut his head off. They give her
And she's gone. But yeah, anime's going in weird places. I don't know what to make of it. And I'm really weirded out because it's split into 2 seasons, so I don't know if it's gonna turn into something else in the second season, because the second season focuses seems like it focuses more implicitly or more specifically on the main character, Misaki. So but yeah, think the best way I can describe it is there's some alien force controlling the first humans that went. Let me try this again. The space station that this takes place on is around a quote-unquote dead planet that the humans have been observing. First humans that went to that planet to observe were killed. You then find out that not only were they killed, but they're being controlled by some outside alien force. So basically you're dealing with zombies? And I know that's a spoiler, but the show's from 2001. I don't think anybody's gonna watch it at this point, so I'm not worried about spoiling that part of episode 5.
Well, would you recommend it?
I don't know. It's really bad. They lost me when the one girl was I'm afraid, they see the enemy and they're like, the one girl's like, I'm afraid, like I don't want to take the commission as a pilot. And the commander's like, well, then you're going to be lobotomized. She's like, what? She's like, if you don't succeed, you'll be lobotomized. And all your memories will be erased. And she's like, what? She's like, yeah, no. She's like, this is super secret. Like, if you can't make it, then we're just going to fucking take your brain out. And, like, she fails her final exam, and they fucking lobotomize her. And I'm just like, dude, why would you, like, upon finding this out, why would you not, like, immediately be like, yo, don't fucking join this fighting force. Like, if you fail, they'll fucking turn you into a vegetable. I mean, like, they talk about the fact that they're, like, 10 light years away from Earth, so, like, all their communications are filtered, but still, like, holy shit, like, they lobotomize you and send you home as a vegetable. Like, once you know what's going on, they're like, you can't, like, it's information security, you can't tell anybody, and we'll make sure you can't tell anybody by making sure that you're a fucking vegetable.
Yeah, I don't think I want to watch this.
It's bad! Like, I don't say this very often. It's bad! I'm only watching it because I've already put, like, I've already completed 2 discs of 6. So I'm like, alright, I'm already, I'm in. I might as well see it to the end. Even though I didn't realize, like, most people are like, oh no, no, like, if it's bad, stop. I'm like, no, I've already committed, like, I'm gonna see it all the way through. And maybe it gets better, I don't know. Like, the next disc will be the end of Season 1, so I don't know what happens in Season 2, but, like, I'm a little agog by, like, they don't bring up at any point that if any of these, like, there's, like, I think there's, like, 4 or 5 girls that are vying for this pilot position. And the one girl's like, you've been, like, they're like, you've been decided, like, the commander's like, you're the one, we're going with you. If you pass this final exam, you're gonna be, a pilot on this force. And she's like, you know what? After seeing the enemy, I'd really like to just, like, I'd like to go home. She's like, if you go home, you're gonna be lobotomized. And she's like, what? Like, you're gonna be lobotomized? She's like, okay, I guess I at least have to try the final exam. So she tries it, and she fails miserably. Not of her own fault, just, like, she, like the machine rejects her because there's, like, a neural interface or some shit. And they're like, alright, well, you're being lobotomized because you failed. You're washing out of the program. And, like, they bring up, like, in that episode that, like, the other girls have technically washed out, but they're going to keep training them just in case she fails. Which pretty clearly foreshadows that going to fail, because why would they keep the characters in the story if he isn't going to fail? And then she fails, and they're like, oh, well, we've decided that all 3 of you are viable candidates, so we're going to move you to the final exam, and if you pass, like, you'll become pilots in this fighting force. And I'm going like, this is, like, what the fuck am I watching?
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, watch it, don't watch it. Like, I currently 6 or 8 episodes in. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not well written. But, like, maybe it gets better. I'll let you know in the next week or so, because I'm pretty actively, like... It's gonna sound really weird. YouTube has really dried up. Have you noticed this, Kiki? Like, there's not a lot coming out on YouTube anymore.
I think a lot of people are taking vacations.
Is that what it is? Like there's nothing in my feed all of a sudden, except for, like, really long episodes, like, hour and a half. And those I'm holding for, like, I can't sleep.
Yeah. I mean, my feed is still full of stuff, but a lot of it I don't want to watch.
Right! No, I'm sorry. My feed has got a whole bunch of stuff, but it's things I don't care about. It's the same reason I don't follow Anime News Network anymore, because, like, all the news I'm gonna get about new things I care about is gonna come up on, like, Reddit, Twitter, or, like, anime, like, a lot of my YouTube videos are reporting on new things that are happening. Like, this game is coming out, or they're updating this thing, and I'm like, I already know. I don't care. I'm not going to watch a 10-minute video about, that they're updating Power Wash Simulator. I already know that. I read the brief on the Steam page.
Yeah. I guess we're just not the target audience.
We're old! We're old, Kiki! We're old!
Yeah.
I like to state for the record, this is very good Irish whiskey.
Very nice.
Oh, you're drinking. Okay.
I didn't know if the volume control thing was obvious or not, but yes, this is whiskey.
I had part of a pumpkin ale at lunch.
My smoothie is almost gone.
Mm.
Sadness. So we
Indeed.
watched Josie the Tiger and the Fish.
What the fuck was that shit?
It was a bit all over the place while still being a good movie.
Yeah! Like, there was at least 2 or 3 times that I went, okay, the movie's ending. And then it didn't end. It just kept going and going and going. And not that it was a problem, but it was like, okay, like, her becoming more independent after things happen. Okay, that's cool. I'm like, that's where the movie's gonna end. Like, she's becoming, like, less dependent. No! Then the guy has an issue. No, that's not the ending! And then, like, the 2 of them have a conversation at the very end of the movie. And then the movie ended, and I'm like, well, I mean, that's a resolution, but, like, there were parts of that movie that I was just like, what is going on here?
Very much up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Also, unrelated, but anime-related, they're only doing one Steelbook release for Ghibli this fall, and it's when Marnie was there.
Interesting.
Oh.
I am confusion.
What?
There's like... Yes?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the other 2 that I can think of that haven't been released is Pom Pokoro or Tales of Earthsea. Both of which I think they're going to give the middle finger to. I don't think they're going to do a complete collection of Steelbooks. And it makes me angry!
Well, nobody liked Tales of Earthsea.
Yes, but I want to own it in a Steelbook. I'm a consumer whore, and how?
I will be right back. The dog needs out.
Okay.
I still remember. I was like, okay, what's his face? I don't care. I'm failing as a person who's watched Bond films. Oh my god, what the fuck is his name? Oh!
Bond films like James Bond?
Yeah.
Which one are you thinking about? Like, name the movie and I'll tell you which Bond you're thinking of.
I can't remember. Okay, it's Timothy Dalton. I had to. Timothy
Oh,
Dalton.
okay.
Because he voices one of the main characters in Tales from Earthsea. I was like, Timothy Dalton's in this shit. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Speaking of that, I can't think of his name. The guy from Taken, Irish.
Liam Neeson.
Being the father of Ponyo.
Yes.
That is, like, initially weirded me out, but grew on me.
Yeah. And I just remember telling him, like, it's so cute because they go with the whole, like, sea thing of, like, the female being so much bigger than the male.
Yes,
And
yeah,
so his wife
that
is
he married
so
a
huge.
goddess who is so much larger than he is.
I was like, she's huge, and he's just this human. He's, like, so in love with her. It's
Well,
like,
and they explain it as being that he's a wizard or sorcerer, one of the two. But like that the young are magically created, and that Ponyo is basically the one that is the strongest of the bunch,
yeah.
or quote unquote Brunhilde.
Yeah, Brunhilde.
Yes, Brunhilde.
It's a super weird but cute movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I love Ponyo.
The only question I asked was, like, at the end, they bring up the fact that she'll live the rest of her life as a human. I'm like, so did his mother, basically, like, mom and dad, like, adopt her?
I guess?
Maybe.
Like, they leave that part out, but I'm going, like, So I guess she's just gonna live with him because, like, you know, her dad basically is like, she's gonna be human, like, she's not our problem anymore. I'm like,
The fuck?
because I asked these questions. I'm sorry. I'm like,
Oh, that's okay. You're
they left
allowed.
this loose end open of like, who's taking care of her? She's a 5-year-old girl.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess we can assume they just adopt her.
That's what I would assume. It's the whole, you know, dating the girl next door type thing. Just like one of my Japanese animes.
Something along those lines.
Yes. So, guess what's getting a second season?
Magus Bride.
Yes!
Because I was the one who posted it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was the one who posted it. They did the first, like, piece of promo art, and I was like, oh my god, they're doing a second season of Magus Bride.
Yay! Because that anime fucking rocks.
It was really good.
Most excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what they're gonna do with the second season, but I'm still excited.
I don't know.
Alright, so... I will BRB. I'm switching... Hold on a minute. Let me
Okay.
bring up what I need to bring up before I actually... There we go. 1 second.
Okay.
Ugh. I need to get a new office chair. Because it's like, no matter what I do, like, I'll sit here and then, like, it slowly sinks lower and lower until it's like, oh, okay. Like, but to be fair, we've had this chair for, like, forever, so.
All the more reason to get a new one.
Yeah.
What is it called? Oh, I wish I had slept and my brain would work.
Yes, the sleep! You and me both, Kiki, you and me both! Ow! I punched my hand, ow!
Why did you do that?
You okay?
Because I haven't slept and I've been drinking! I'm stupid! Hello, how are you?
Oh, nice to meet you, stupid.
Literally, I'm getting messages from my team going, why are you coming in on your day off? What is your major malfunction, numbnuts? And I'm going, you know, about 5 figures worth of bonuses that I want to get at the end of the year.
Jeez.
Oh,
Dude, I know it's stupid, but seriously, I want my department to succeed just so that we all get our money at the end of the year. Like, hear me out. I want my full-timer to get his IPS bonus. I think we're gonna do it. Really think we are? But, like, I'm fighting tooth and nail in the last quarter to make sure it happens. Because I do not want us to fail in the last 3 months of the year. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm doing everything in my power to make sure it doesn't happen. Not just because I'm selfish and I want my own money, but I want my team to get their money too.
yeah.
When did you
Like-
get in here? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, imagine somebody telling you that you're going to get some percentage of your wages for the year as a bonus. And every year that you make it, you get more. And I'm like, I want my full-timer to get it because he's going to get like 10% of his gross wages this year if our department makes it. I mean, like, I want to get my bonuses. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it and say I don't. Like, I want to get my bonuses because I get 15% plus my manager bonuses. It's like a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My sister's been messaging me like, you son of a bitch, how could you come in? I'm like, has to succeed!
I did not know there was a cat in here.
Right.
I know it's a lot of fun because there's one streamer I watch on a semi-regular basis. He has 2 cats, Ned and Sansa, and they occasionally wander in and make an appearance on stream.
Right.
And they're just like, "Hi, Dad."
So what was I gonna say? Kiwi farms. They got dropped from their Russian and Chinese servers. They are currently without a host.
Given that the guy who generated, like, the origin of Kiwi Farms, 8chan, has stated implicitly that he wants it erased from the existence of the world because the guy who's running Kiwi Farm is a hate-filled fascist.
Right.
Like, the dude who was younger and stupider went like, the guy who's running Kiwi Farm is one of my co-moderators. He's an idiot. Like, don't let him exist. He's spreading hate. I'm just like, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never a good sign.
No. But hooray.
This year, most of the books I'm waiting for come out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't too far off at this point now. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I gotta get back into reading. I have so many books to read.
All the books, all the time.
Books. Hooray.
I have unread books and partially read books, and I started rereading another one that I've already read like 10 times.
I question what Mish's house would look like if she was allowed unlimited space for bookshelves.
Oh god.
I'd be happy with a room.
A library, you say? Dude, like, we always talk about, like, the compound. But can you imagine, like, the clubhouse? Like, I always talk about, like, you know, like, it's like a common room, but like, clubhouse. Like, we all have our own houses, but we have the clubhouse where we all meet. Like, the clubhouse would be full of board games, you know, tabletop games, books, movies, music, like it'd be, like, for all intents and purposes, and I mean this in the most literal sense of the word, a library.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
None of us just
That's
won
where we-
the lottery.
Right?
Well, let's hear. We'd have.
Oh, I've stated implicitly that if I ever come into a shit ton of money, like, more money than God, like, that was the first thing I do, like, buy a bunch of property, close enough to get high-speed internet, but far enough away to not have to deal with idiots, build a whole bunch of houses, clubhouse, you know, call it a gated community, call it what you want, compound, whatever. Like, we're all gonna hang out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a cult. Nobody's in charge. It's a commune, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like,
That's
it's
what
not a
cults
religious
call
thing.
themselves.
What's up?
That's what cults call themselves.
A commune?
Yeah.
Well, no
Like-
one is claiming to be Jesus.
Like,
So
none of us are that crazy. Most of us are fucking atheists, to be dead honest.
Yeah.
Like, the people I would hang out with are not the kind of people who would be like, I'm the next coming of Christ. That was Mr. Rogers, goddammit! We all know it! And I continue to say for the record that people are like, Second Coming of Christ, I'm like, it already happened, his name was Mr. Rogers. He was very disappointed in all of us. Everybody's like, what? I'm like, isn't it obvious? I mean, come on, look at the man. Like, oh shit. I'm like, yep. You fucked up, bro. You fucked up. We're in the rapture. This is the end of things. Where's the beast? Let's go. Beast is capitalism. I mean, what?
Oh god, yeah.
I work for a mega corporation and I'm still like, the beast is capitalism.
So yeah, we like one wall will be dedicated to just Cupcake's anime. Just
Wall, do you say? It would be a room. A very large room full of big windows. If I had unlimited money, the amount of shit that I would buy and collect, oh my god. Everything, all the things, like, you want it, I got it, let's share it, let's go, come on. I've stated implicitly, there's any number of people who want my collection when I die, and I'm like, I'm leaving it in one piece. And Kiki's mad, but she can't hate the pun because it's true. Like, there's any number of contenders for my collection. I'm just like, I can't believe this is a thing. Also, the fact that I think I'm like the third largest collector in North America, which is weirding me out. Like, we were talking on Reddit one day, and I'm like, there are two people who have bigger collections than me, and only marginally larger, except for the guy who's number one. The guy who is number one has collected every piece of anime media since the mid-90s. His name is Gigafrost, and I bow in reverence to him, because he makes... Basically, he's been making six figures since I was in grade school, and, like, just keeps fucking buying shit. He's got a whole, like, legitimate library. Like, when I say library, I don't mean like a room in his house. I mean, like, he built a fucking library. He's got a... They call it a pole barn, but, like, it's an actual, like, library building full of all of the Japanese media you could imagine. I'm just like...
I would be happy with just the room, the one room
Right.
we had on growing up that used to... I mean, it had shelves all the way around, but it was just like toys and stuff, because obviously 3 kids in the house.
Right.
Let's have a dedicated room for them to put their toys in so they're not all over the goddamn place, you know?
Right.
But so that's the thing is the funny thing is like, if we ever built a house, it would be like, we're doing it like hubby's cousin when they built their house. So he, you know, hubby's cousin got his man cave with, you know, the fancy TV and shit. And she got her little, like, sitting room area with all the bookshelves. I'm like, that's what we're doing. You're giving me a room. if we ever build a house. I don't know if we're ever going to build a house, but...
Right. No, I trigger what you're saying. I mean, that's kind of the same thing that happens here. It's like, my collection is starting to overtake the space that I have in my office down here, and it's like... Yeah. Do I take over the old exercise room? I mean, I can, but like, I wish I could put shelves in everywhere.
Yeah.
Because nobody's using that room. It's just used for like our loose storage.
Listen, guys, there's a delivery man who's delivering stuff next door. I must work.
Give him hell, Baxter. Give him hell. He's so tough.
It's
This is a small sausage.
I heard the beeping. Yes, he is. He's like, I must.
He sounds so tough. He's like, ruff, 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 ruff. Ruff, ruff, ruff. He might weigh 25 pounds, but he's sure as hell tough as a 250-pound dog.
Yeah, it was funny. So, Hubby took him to the vet one day, and as usual, you sometimes have to wait outside. So he had taken Baxter and was walking around outside of the car because Baxter was like, heebie-jeebies. And this German Shepherd comes out of the vet, and Baxter's like, "Rrrr," and then gets taken in. And the vet's on the phone with Hubby, and the vet's like, "Was that Baxter outside?" Yeah. He's like, "I'm not surprised. With that German Shepherd, I would back up Baxter over that German Shepherd any day." Like, the German Shepherd's like a big teddy bear. I'm just like, ah.
Dude, little dogs are tough, man. They got all the fight in their spirit.
Hi. I know you told me.
Rossi was the same way before he got older. He was just like, I'll fight anybody, let's go. I'm like, dude, you weigh 15 pounds. Don't give me that shit.
Yeah, Baxter's like, he's like, I can take him. It's like, dude, that is a literal mastiff. I can take him. Motherfucker, you're as big as his head. I can
Yeah,
take
he'll kill the Mastiff, though. He'll kill it. He'll choke on him.
And then it's funny because, like, even the cats, the outdoor cats, he's
Right.
like, "Arr." I'm like, dude, that's an outdoor cat that's as big as or slightly bigger than you and lives outside. It will kick your ass. No, I will kick its butt.
Right.
And also the deer. The deer, he's like, I must chase the deer. No. But I must chase the deer. No, they will kick you from here to China. Yes, I'm talking about you. And your ferociousness. I know. I still love you. Even though you have quite an unhealthy attachment to me. Now that I work from home for 2 years. I'm home like 6 out of 7 days of the week. For like most of the day. Yeah, the pandemic started, I basically became a hermit.
I know what you're talking about with the hermitage. What do you mean hermitage? No one hermits. Clearly.
Quite clearly, I see. Is that mushrooms I see over there? Some fungus.
I am a fun guy. Turbo puns.
Debating on if I want to grab, because we have friends over on Saturday and they brought over some beer, and I'm like, do I want to grab one of those? Probably not, because my head's like hurting from something already. So,
Right.
Aww.
I don't know what the hell's going on lately.
October.
I know I'm walking around you. So yeah, the book I'm rereading is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast by Robin McKinley. Hold up. Are you loose again? The fuck? Yes, you are. Okay, sorry. Yes. She actually wrote 2 retellings of Beauty and the Beast. Slightly different. But they're still very similar. One is Beauty and one is Rose Daughter. And I have another one of hers called Deerskin. Yeah.
Alright.
I know. So, probably gonna have to sew that again. So I have one of those, like, seed / bead filled things that you can either stick in the freezer or stick in the microwave. And I was using it for my head, and then the seeds were coming out. I'm like, I thought I sewed this up last night. I guess not. I guess another part starting to come undone. So little seeds are popping out, and it's like, what the fuck?
That sucks.
Yeah. Oh. There. Yes, I want the chocolate covered pretzels, goddammit.
Wah wah.
They're gluten free, so because finally figured out that hey, my body doesn't do processed food that great. Imagine that.
Woo!
Like I can eat it, but it contributes to the weight. So
Your pain, I feel.
I
Somebody who's
give
actively
up
trying to
caring.
control their diet, I'm like, but I want a burrito.
Yeah.
Burritos are delicious. Ugh.
yeah, I know my brother. One of my brothers was like, "Do you have diabetes?" I'm like, technically yes, because I technically have to take something for it.
Right.
Not full blown diabetes, but
Weird.
the whole insulin resistance thing, which also contributes to the weight because I can't process sugar that great.
Right.
So, oh, okay, that's where that came from.
What?
Okay. We're having a discussion about an Overwatch character.
Of course.
Oh, no, that's where that came from. Okay. So, that actually makes sense with the character. So, oh my god, makes sense. He would.
Are you looking forward to the new lore that will come with Overwatch 2?
A little bit. I didn't necessarily like the Reaper lore that came with Code of Violence, but
Well, they can't do everything right.
I know. Because I think people were we were trying to figure out like the timeline to allow Gabe to be a police officer before he joined the military and before he joined the FCP. So we're like, he would have had like, because I think the general consensus is he was like commander of some sort. Like he was in. I'm not sure if he was a commissioned officer or not, but he was high enough that at least a sergeant. So it's like he has to start somewhere. And by the time you get to Overwatch, they're in their 40s. Yeah, I mean, you can argue that the stress of having a building explode and fall on you would turn anybody white haired, because Morrison is usually shown with white hair. But I think also the general consensus is they're in their 50s at this point. So I think I have to look at the wiki, but they were born like between like 2018 and like 2022. So by the time 2076 or 2077 rolls around, they're in their 50s. So it's generally like, okay, they're in their 40s or 50s. Mm-hmm. And then it's been like 5 to 7 years since the fall of Overwatch. So if they're in their 50s, you have to kind of back it up a little bit and go, okay. They have to go, how long did the Omnic Crisis last? And so it's this whole convoluted thing. So they're like, how the hell was he a police officer before he joined the military? And then rose up enough in rank and then went into the SCP. And then, so, yeah, it's... A lot of people are so angry because they're presenting him as straight.
How dare they?
Presenting. Yeah.
a lot of people are like, yeah, Overwatch is basically all gays of some sort.
Right.
Some sort. Like, and the only one who like
Is actually like consistently shown as having like a wife is Torbjorn.
and like wife and kids, and everybody else is Anna has a kid, so you can make the argument like she's straight, but still, it's like she's already like separated from Farrah's dad by the time like official lore is bopping around. So that'll be interesting to see what they do. I've actually read all of the New Blood comics already. Hannah. Okay, I can't remember I have to pull it up. Oh, hold on. Moving around again. Starts with Cole and Anna, and then goes to Farrah, and then think Baptiste. I have to check it. Set that down. Actually, I have it up. It allows me to bring it up. It's a Dark Horse Entertainment, I think. Bookshelf. Okay, so there's a bunch of like singular tales about different. I haven't read all of them yet. I'm trying to find. Yeah, so Cole and Anna, Farrah, Baptiste, Zarya, and then Hannah. There's a bunch of different stories following Tracer and her adventures. There's one with Bastion. Looks like one with Torbjorn, one with Reinhardt. Funnily enough, called Dragon Slayer, which is kind of apt. But my stupid nose. But yeah, very interesting. I'm also kind of like, I don't hold as much like emotional investment in some of this as the actual players. So, because I came in like, however, I think it was first released in 2016. So I didn't get into it until like 4 years after that. So it was like, I didn't really have that much of an emotional investment in some of this. Like, I do a bit, but I'm like, that's what fanfiction's for. Fixing things. Fixing things. Alright. That was 3 minutes. Okay. I will beer beat.
Okay.
Oh, you crunching? Okay. Doggo is crunching. The gasp.
They are Hulu, that is, rebooting Hellraiser.
Interesting. That's Pinhead, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be closer to the book this time, apparently. Which I have not read, because I only recently learned that Pinhead in the book is a woman.
Oof.
Oofda.
I don't know why they switched it to a guy when they made the movie, but whatever. Maybe they thought a woman couldn't be creepy or something. I assure you, women can be creepy.
Almost. Oh,
And then there goes Cupcake.
Yep. Yeah, I will switch over here.
Okay. Welcome back.
Hi, so I'm back at the computer. And let me grab. I mean, I seriously could not tell you why I got so much into this rabbit hole. Like, seriously. I was just enjoying media, vocal fan fiction of a character. And I joined AO3 for writing reasons, and then all of a sudden, crash, boom, bang.
You like the characters. It's fine.
Yeah, right here.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you should play the game someday. But
Me.
I mean, if you're not into first-person shooters or what is it called? Capture the flag?
Maybe.
Capture the point? Sorry.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's not a it's not a it's not a flag, it's a point in the map.
Excuse me.
Which I don't know, I just found boring.
Well, I mean, I'd have to get good at shooters with a keyboard and mouse.
The best way to play shooters, in my opinion.
Valid. All
I
right.
mean, lots of people prefer controllers these days, but I grew up with a keyboard and mouse. Mouse has better, control over your movement when you're spinning around and shooting things.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. You
And
all can
since
do
I've been
whatever you want.
since I've been on AO3, which hold up, I mean, show my works, please. I'm actually gonna say. Oh. So since the first one that I posted, which was literally almost a year ago. Oh. I started like posting stuff that like one shots I had written off of like Google Docs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, sign up, and then I signed up for my first like Secret Santa thing, and so that was like my first official like Overwatch one shot.
Hmm. I mean, you're entertained and you're using a skill you have.
Yes.
Not much to complain about.
Yep.
It's just a little weird that you've never touched the game.
I know that
But
that's weird to me too, because
but
I'm like,
it makes a little bit of sense though because of the way the game is built. The lore is not in the game itself.
yeah,
It's in these little vignettes they make.
yeah,
So it makes a bit of sense that because you can just watch those, you never touch the game at all,
yeah.
which is what you're doing. Something on my elbow. A couple of games do that, and I've always found that weird. I like exploring the story within the game. Maybe that's why I found it boring.
Which is also valid.
Mm-hmm. Um, I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire, which I suck at. It's a
Nice.
deck building action game.
Okay.
which is also a roguelike at the same time, so it's random.
Interesting.
And it is very hard. You have to get to the final boss and defeat it in order to unlock the last character, and I have never been able to do that. When did this game come out? Uh, 2019, and I still have not beaten it.
That's okay though.
I mean, I'm enjoying my playthroughs, but I also die a lot.
Eh. I still find it funny that like there's that I can't remember the name of it. It's the game in which you're a cat.
Stray?
So yeah. And I watched the streamer I mentioned. He had a later stream where he played that. So I was, just kind of doing things on the computer and watching that. And then Cupcake, I was talking with Cupcake, and he was playing it. And then he mentioned something about like the one robot that's like moving paint. And I was like, "Are you playing Stray?" And he's like, "How the fuck did you?" I was like, "Hey."
I gotta finish that. That's over on the PS5, and that means taking over the TV to do stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Cupcake. With more booze, I think? Or
Oh, a sandwich.
a sandwich, okay. I thought he was holding a cup first. Put your headphones back on, bud. Or finish your sandwich. That works too.
So he's not chewing in our ears. It is the glorious Cupcake.
Yes.
Are you enjoying your sandwich?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Peanut butter jelly.
Ah,
Nice.
I had that last night.
This was just... I know, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, ugh.
It's just one of those days. It's gonna be hot.
Oh, hello, sausage.
It's gonna be hot. I didn't sleep. I gotta clean the fucking apartment because they're doing the annual walkthrough. Pretend like we're not messy people.
Right.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, stuff needs to be cleaned anyway.
Yeah.
Oh man. Sunday, high of 55. I don't know if I can handle that.
I hate you. I want to live in Minnesota.
Yeah, we're basically 82, 86, 85, 81, 69, 55, 57.
It's gonna be 115 today.
Sounds like a party. Sign me up.
It's
As
102.
as much as I empathize as someone who has lived with snow, I don't want more snow. No offense.
I've barely interacted with snow all my life, so
That's the one downside of this climate is like snow for 6 months out of the year. But other than that, it's totally fine.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like cold weather, so maybe I would enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to cooler weather. Like, honestly, like, everybody's like, "Ow, winter sucks." I'm like, dude, at least it's fucking like it's easy to get warm. Like, getting warm isn't the hard part. It's cooling off that's the hard part.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I can only take off so much clothing.
Right.
But if it's cold, I can just keep putting stuff on.
Like, getting warm is easy. Like, that's what electric blankets are for. Like, just,
Yeah.
like, couple blankets, hoodie, like, you're good to go. Like, even when it's, like, negative 20 out, like, in January, like, you guys have seen me, like, it's a hoodie and a couple blankets, and I'm good. Like, I don't have any issues.
Yeah.
We're like, well, how do you deal with the cold weather? House is 65 degrees, and I wear warm clothing.
Oh man, 65 degrees. Oh.
Like, can you like everybody's always like, well, like, why do you keep your house so cool? I'm like, because, like, dude, like, keeping yourself warm is easy. Keeping the house warm is hard. Like, in the winter, like, just, like, bundle up.
Also, if we ever get a clubhouse in our commune,
Right,
kotatsu, we're getting a kotatsu.
right. Oh, God.
We're never gonna move out from under that thing.
Right. It's a
Use
whole
an
bunch of
electric
us sitting
blanket.
under a giant kotatsu, fucking keeping our legs warm.
Yeah, use an electric blanket. I'm like, I want to experience a kotatsu.
I mean, electric blankets are probably the closest thing that Americans will, or North Americans will see to a kotatsu, because, like, we have central heating because it gets so cold here that, like, most of northern North America, like, has central heat, so it's like, kotatsus aren't a requirement because, like, our houses are heated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Japan, like, they don't have central heat and air conditioning, so, like, that's a thing to have a kotatsu in the cold weather.
Yeah, yeah. Like, even if you don't have central air, like, all houses will have central heat, you know.
Oh, they're not that expensive. I might be looking at kotatsus.
Ah!
Not that I have anywhere to put one.
But, like, even, like, regional differences, like, most houses, like, in the northern states, northeastern states, places where you get snow, usually if there's an attached garage, there will be a door leading into the house from the garage. Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
But my brother lives in California, has an attached garage, but there's no door into the house from the garage. You have to walk out to front of the garage and walk to the front door and go in the front door. Or, go into the backyard, whatever. So, because first time I'm like, where's the door? Why is there no door? Well, I guess even in the winter, it's like, you're not going to really deal with snow in that area.
Right.
I mean, some parts of California, yes, they're snow, you're by the mountains or whatever, but it's like,
Right.
because they live in, like, mid-southern California, so it's like, yeah, they're not really going to deal with snow, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's like us with basements. Everybody else is like, why would you have a basement? I'm like, why would you not have a basement?
Yeah, the same thing with my brother's house, like, no basement.
Right.
Yeah. I've
But
never had
then
a
again-
basement.
But then again, they don't deal with the possibility of the occasional tornado.
Right.
Oh, whereas the people in the Midwest were like, yeah, there might be tornado, so basement.
Like, I'm just shocked that more regions don't have it because, like, it's extra space. Like, yeah, I get, like, oh, it costs more when you build a house, but, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, like, my house right now only has a crawl space, and I'm like, I want a basement because I didn't realize how easy it was to keep the, like, stuff like Christmas decorations, like, stuff you use, but you don't use it every single day, right?
Yeah.
Or all the time. Like, it would be easy to just walk down a set of stairs and get the, Christmas tree instead of having to crawl into the friggin' attic to get the Christmas tree. Like,
Right.
But you'll live and learn.
And then you get a diaper brand.
A what? A diaper? What?
You live, you learn, and then you get what's it called? Loves, which is a diaper brand.
Oh god.
Again, I was like, the fuck?
Right.
I was like, the fuck is she talking about? Diapers?
Yeah.
Huh?
Sorry.
That's okay. I was just like confused because I was like, the fuck?
So, going in a completely different direction. I've been watching Outlaw Star.
How's that going for you?
What episode am I fucking on? Hang on. I just finished episode 8. Which is like when they got money by the looks of it, because it's suddenly much better animated.
Right.
But so far it's holding up. Like, I only really remember the censored Toonami version. So
Right.
So I'm watching this subbed because I don't think I've ever heard it subbed.
Right.
In its original Japanese, but I did not realize Gene was such a pervert.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious when he starts dating their navigator, whose name I forget. Melfina.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because like Melfina is really what turns him around.
Mm-hmm. Although I don't know why they bothered to censor her. You can't see anything.
Right.
And
If they didn't censor her, who gives a shit? Like, the only part of her that would be fucking visible is her front, and she's not like, exactly bodacious.
no, and she's covering herself like this anyway.
Right.
When she's in the tube, so you don't see shit.
Right. Like, the only thing they had to censor in the North American version as far as animation goes is episode 23, which is the hot spring planet.
Yeah.
Which is their like, the generic hot spring episode, but also furthers the plot because that's where Gene picks up 3 super caster shells.
Yeah. Which was so confusing when they just skipped over that episode.
Yeah, because they skipped over because there was no easy way to censor it for American television, but, like, owning the Ultimate Edition, like, watching that episode uncensored is hilarious because there's really not a lot going on. Like, nobody gets naked. They're just in bathing suits. Like, I will admit, like, it's micro bikini sling bathing suits, but it's still bathing suits. Nobody gets naked.
Yeah.
They were like, oh no, American sensibilities. Girls mostly naked. Ah!
I mean, there's the one scene where Gene's naked and you don't see anything.
But he looks like a Ken doll, which is the best part. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, like there's no bulge or there's no wang at all.
He's a Ken doll. There's nothing there. They're like, oh my god, he's naked. There's nothing to see.
I mean, I wonder if that was like trying to stay within a certain classification.
Oh yeah. I mean, but like, I wish more animation, more manga did that, where it's just like, yeah, they're naked, but we're not gonna show you anything because it doesn't fucking matter. It's not pornog.
Nudity is just nudity. Unless sex
Right.
is happening, it's not sexual.
Right. Even with sex is happening, it's not necessarily sexual, even.
Yeah.
Like, that's a plot point in a lot of shows.
Yeah, it depends on your disposition.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not a good example, because I'm like...
Yeah. I mean, but it's heavily implied that Gene has a lot of sex.
Right. Like, I don't even blink at nudity. I'm like, oh well.
Yeah. Especially child nudity. That's something we need to get over. We sexualize children. Children are not sexualized objects.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Americans are dirty perverts.
Yeah. Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean-
he's finally 18.
Yeah, like that sexy 10-year-old body. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Exactly. I think I pointed out, I'm like, that's what happens when you have a country founded by Puritans.
Right.
Because it's gonna be, oh my god. And it's like, okay, you know what? Like, how do babies eat again? Oh yeah, they eat on the tit. So
Oh,
I'm feeding my
no.
kid.
Yeah.
Breastfeeding, it's so sexual.
Like, I'm like, there's a thing for it. It's called, go look it up on fanfiction. Otherwise, get the fuck out. But it's kind of like, yeah, you have a problem with me feeding my kid, get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, well, okay, then you're not gonna let me feed my kid? Oh, let me call CPS on myself.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Huh. I can't think of anything else I've been watching. I think mostly YouTube.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go YouTube.
I mean, everybody's been playing Mortuary Assistant, which looks pretty cool.
No thanks. I watched, I think, Badly Badass Heroes playthrough, and I'm like, nope. Nope.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a horror game.
It's like one of the few horror games lately that actually gave me nightmares.
Mm-hmm. We, because I still haven't done it yet, should do a recording of,
Oh god, what? What are you wrangling me in
Flower
for?
Wash Simulator.
Well, that's your problem, not mine. I'm already almost done with the research edition.
I know. You could run me through it, and we could just bullshit.
Right? It just cuts to you with like the most basic equipment and me with like the super wash. You're just going, what? Because already, like in the research edition, I'm already on the last. I'm on the last level.
Oh god.
So like, pretty soon I'll be pretty soon I'll be uninstalling it for the regular edition because I've unlocked everything. So I can go back to the normal edition.
Yeah.
I've got like, I don't know, maybe like another hour or so of cleaning to do, and then that will be done.
What you gonna do when you've done that?
I bought Captain Toad's like treasure trackers. I need to finish that at some point.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a Nintendo game. It's basically
Okay.
based off of the mini games from I think it's Mario Galaxy. No, Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
It's fun. I'm in the last episode. I started playing it like a month ago and then just stopped. I'm like, I should finish that now that I've done basically all of Power Wash. Also, I got Rise of the Tomb Raider for free, so I might.
Yeah, that's a good game.
It's the last of the new trilogy, so I'll probably have to buy the other two games just to see what the hell's going on.
They're all really good.
Right.
Sadly, though, that's probably the end of that series because they're gonna probably reboot it again because
Right.
it was bought.
Right.
I mean, if you're ever bored, do not watch the Tomb Raider movie that came from that franchise. It sucks.
It's that bad?
Yeah.
There's no Angelina Jolie.
I mean, that's not the issue. It's just got really bad acting.
So no Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
That's the newest one, right?
Yes, the one that doesn't have Angelina Jolie is the newest one.
I was not interested in watching that. I was like, eh.
I do not recommend.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So you just gotta wait for the next Ring of Power episode to come out on Friday, and because they released the first 2 episodes last week. They were about an hour long, so
Cool.
and I'm like, now I need to wait for a week. Gosh dang. And wait for The Witcher Season 3 to come out.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yes. I like the plot twist at the end. I was like, ooh.
Yes.
Because it was like, how do they know about Siri? And then you're like, that's how they knew about Siri. Okay. I fucked up. But that's how they know about Siri. Okay.
North Carolina school baptizes over 100 kids without parents' permission.
Yeah.
Fun.
I would be pissed.
Yeah, I would be pissed too. Be like, so you didn't ask me and you didn't ask my kid? You just said we're baptizing you? Fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been baptized because I don't come from a very religious background, and I myself am an atheist, but...
You an atheist? Never.
Anything religious should not happen in school. With the exception of maybe, like, clubs.
Clubs are different.
Yeah.
I'm not begrudging people having, like, like, group gathering.
Yeah, I don't
People
mind,
the same-
like, Bible club or anything. That's kids
Even
getting
then, it's a bit
together.
weird. 'Cause, like, if, like, your religion is the thing that, like, defines you, like, why are you, like, go hang out with your friends outside of school?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna begrudge somebody making a club. I'm just gonna, like, you never see, like, you know, any other clubs other than, like, the Bible club in school.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's a fun thing about Catholicism where you have to take PSR lessons unless you go to a Catholic school.
What the fuck is PSR?
You still do. She's talking about secondary religious education.
Oh, okay.
So
It's
PSR
bullshit.
stands for Parish School of Religion. So anyone who goes to a secular school,
Right.
like I did, or
You have to go to religious
non-Catholic,
class.
you have to go to religious class through confirmation,
Right.
and then you're done.
Like, I went to confirmation just so that if, like, I met a nice Catholic girl, I could get married Catholic church, but, like, I basically been an atheist almost my entire life. I just couldn't define it until I was an adult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, like, there's nothing quite like being in that room with the priest, and he's like, why do you think we should confirm you? I don't think you should. I really don't think you should. I think you should deny me. Because I don't believe a word of what's being told to me. Oh, good enough. Like, I didn't bullshit that priest, and he still let me through to get confirmed. Like, final challenge. I don't believe any of this. Not a word of it. Your God is an impotent fool. Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good.
Because most of them will completely understand why you're saying what you're saying that. At least most.
Explain to me, Father, the concept of pediatric bone cancer and then I'll hear you out.
Yep.
Can I help?
Yes, I stole that from Stephen Fry. I don't care.
Hey, that's fine. I mean, I agree with him. It's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? Because I'm like, Christians don't believe in reincarnation, so they're not paying for past sins,
Nope.
right?
Nope.
And if they've been, I don't know how it works for Protestantism or anything else other than Catholics, but at least if you're Catholic, if you're Catholic, you're baptized to erase original sin, right?
Right.
So this little 2-year-old or 18-month-old has fucking bone cancer, or blood cancer, or brain cancer. It's like, so, and then of course Catholics believe that God has a plan for your life. Well, what the fuck? Why would you allow a innocent child come into being with that plan for their life?
And fun story, in the 1970s, the Second Council of Nice got rid of the concept of limbo. So, like, original sin, as far as it exists, like, doesn't exist. Like, if your parents don't have time to get you confirmed, you don't sit in limbo for eternity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Mish?
Yeah,
like, the whole, like, you're born, but your parents didn't have time to baptize you, so technically original sin still keeps you from heaven.
Yeah, it's like, so basically, like in Dante's Inferno, the examples they give, like, all the wise people, like,
No.
But,
we're talking about babies who are born,
I know,
but not baptized.
I know that part too, but there's also, from what I know, like, I know what's shocked about
the Elysium
Limbo.
Fields is different. The Elysium Fields is not heaven, but for people who are virtuous but not Christian.
Ah.
As somebody who was raised in a fairly strong Roman Catholic family, like, fucking learning about limbo, I'm like, what kind of asshole God is like, you were born but not baptized, so you sit in the nether for eternity until the universe ends, and then we'll judge you. You might have been 2 weeks old and died of some congenital fucking hereditary disease. Doesn't matter, you sit in limbo. And then in the 1970s, the Catholic Church was like, that's kind of fucked up, bro, so we're gonna get rid of that. Like, if you are born to Catholic parents and you don't get baptized, you don't go to limbo.
That was my thing, like, I was thinking about, I'm like, so, if the child has nothing to pay for by getting this disease that will cause them pain, and then the treatment will cause them pain,
right?
Who is being punished?
Their parents. It's the sins of the father. Original sin is the sins of the father. Like, that's the whole deal with being baptized, is it removes the sins of your parentage from your soul.
So, but that's also doubly fucked up, because not only is the God in heaven causing an innocent soul to suffer, he's using it as a fucking message for someone else. So it's like,
that's the whole thing. That's why they got rid of the whole limbo idea, because they were like, it's fucked up. And like, in the modern era, to be like, you didn't get your kid baptized after it was born, therefore your kid sits in limbo for all of eternity, even though, like, maybe you intended for them to be baptized, but you didn't have time to set up the appointment. Because it's not like you could just, like, go have the kid baptized. Like, there's a whole ceremony, and, like, it takes time to get that set up. I think they tied it into, like, if the priest gives you last rites as an infant, like, that absolves you of original sin, because they're saying, like, look, I'm here now, I'm taking care of this problem, like, don't punish this fucking, 1-month-old for something that they had no control over. It's a reflection of modern era sensibilities. Like, they're going, like, it's kind of fucked up to say, like, your kid wasn't strong enough to survive, was strong enough to survive childbirth, but that's not enough to survive long enough to be baptized. We're not going to punish them for all of eternity, even though, like, that doesn't exist. Like, there's no limbo. Like, if there's a God, I refuse to believe that limbo is a thing. That would just absolutely make me never, ever want to ever have anything to do with a supreme being that was like, you were born but not baptized, therefore you suffer for all of eternity into nothingness.
Well, I did hear that at least originally that's why some midwives, like hundreds of years ago, were authorized to do like last rites or baptisms
Right.
because there's so many infant deaths that
Yeah.
they wanted to make sure,
stillborns.
or stillborns, that they were like, okay,
Yeah.
let's, because
I mean,
at first it
infant
was the
death is
province of
correct.
women. Yeah. So
I'm making fun of the whole like you're born but you're dead on delivery. So like, yeah, that was dark. Sorry, I'm not gonna make any excuses for it. It's a thing that happens. Inversion. Excuse me. I got this terrible cough I can't seem to get rid of.
okay, how long have I known you, Cupcake?
I don't know what. Like we're going over a decade at this point.
So probably, oh, geez, 20 years.
We got to be closing in on that because I was I was in like late high school and I'm 35 now, so we're getting close to 20.
Hmm. So it's like, the Cupcake having dark humor. The fuck? That's not a surprise.
Speaking of numbers in the 20s, it's going to be my 22nd anniversary with hubby.
Damn, you guys have been married like since the Ice Ages. Jesus.
No,
20.
because it's the same date, because we did that on purpose, because remembering things is hard, and it was
Right.
cute at the time.
Right.
We just count both the dating and the marriage together.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. People are like, we dated for 40 years, we've only been married 38. Yeah, fuck you. You've been together for 40 years. Kiss my ass. Like, I don't give a shit. Sorry. Like people are like, you're only married 20 years, but we've been dating for 50. So you've been together for half a fucking century.
Yeah, you might as well just say that, but I don't know what
Yeah.
to do for it. Probably just gonna be boring, get food, watch something.
Jesus Christ, it's like you're an old married couple or some shit.
Well, we are. We really are. Like, I mean, to tell the meet cute, we only knew each other 4 hours before we started dating.
That's a hell of a connection.
Yeah. He
Not
was
4 hours ago, and now we're together forever.
Yeah. And then 1 year into the relationship, I want to say, he had to move in with us because his parents lost their house.
Oh yeah?
So we've been living together since we
Forever.
were here.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. God, I love that man.
I'm always really impressed when people are like devoted to each other because of all the number of like relationships that just go to shit after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it's...
Like, I don't mean that like a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying like the number of people who've been like, we're together for 10 years and then I saw my old flame from high school and that was it. I was done with his ass. I was like, Jesus, okay.
Yeah, that happens more than people like to admit. Relationships are hard, and
Right.
it's hard to just be alive currently.
Well, I mean, so much of it is like, you get what you put into it. Like, people don't put anything into their relationships and they're just like, why is nothing working out the way I want it to? Because you're not putting any effort in.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Like, I have this at work a lot of times with some of the other managers. They're like, why does my team not go out of their way to help me? I'm like, you don't do anything to, like, endear yourself to these people. Like, treasure them, and you'd be shocked at the amount of, like, effort you'll get out of them without having to demand it of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe
Exactly.
we'll get a Sizzler.
Sizzlers.
That we used to have one in town. It did not survive the pandemic.
I'm not shocked.
But that used to be like my family's go-to restaurant because it's,
Of course it was.
it's not too expensive and the food is usually good enough.
Right.
Like a fancier Denny's.
Right.
Because
We've all heard the
Applebee's.
jokes about Sizzlers.
Yeah. Applebee's has subpar food, but yet it's somehow
Applebee's where America goes to die.
Yeah, it somehow survived the pandemic in my town, and Sizzler did not. I don't understand. There he goes. I think he's going to the bathroom. Yep. Called it. Wonder if we can hear him pee. Sometimes we can hear him pee when he goes to the bathroom. Assuming he's peeing.
Oh. Sorry about that. Like, apparently I spilled a whole bunch of jelly and I didn't even realize it. All of a sudden I reached down to scratch my leg and I'm like, everything is sticky. What the fuck?
Ah, okay. I saw you go to the bathroom, so I assumed you were peeing.
No, I was going to get hot water to try to wipe everything down because I'm like, what the? Everything I'm wearing is dark, so nothing shows. But I'm like, everything is sticky. My hands are sticky. My legs are sticky. The chair is sticky. I'm like, insert jokes here.
Mm-hmm.
All the sticky.
It's on my own. It's my own fault for putting grape jelly on my sandwich.
Ew, grape.
Well, I have strawberry, but I couldn't find it. I could only find my mom redid the refrigerator, so now I can't find anything again because she like reorganized it. Now nothing. I know where nothing is.
Nah. I prefer raspberry jam.
Ew, no, bleh.
Hmm.
Only a freak would eat raspberry.
Well, I am.
Only one man would dare give me raspberry. Shunk. No, stop. Don't hurt yourself.
I'll do what I want.
I have no idea what we're gonna do for dinner. Speaking of food, it's already 2:49, so I probably should consider that. But
You should have.
I mean, food clearly, but beyond that, I'm getting sober enough that I probably could make a road trip to get something.
Tacos?
But yeah, I can borrow mom's car. My car still I still have to call and get the driver's side window fixed. Every other window opens and closes, but the driver's side motor is dead, and I'm just like, yeah, it's so hot, I don't care. Now it's starting to cool off, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should get. But pretty soon it'll be so cold that I won't need to open and close that window, and I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being lazy because it's probably $1,000 fix, and I'm just like, hey, how bad do I need a driver's side window?
Our bumper keeps trying to come off.
Right.
It's really threatening to do it.
Yeah. Finally got a new battery for my car, so that's nice.
Oh, that's good.
Undo, because I do not want to do that.
Whoop. Hmm.
Yeah, I not much else going on just here.
Right.
I feel that. Maybe I can take a nap later. Much later.
Naps are strictly for suckers. God damn.
I do occasionally do a lot of sucking. You set it up.
I know I did, but I didn't think you'd actually take the bait. Like some sort of sucking fish. A catfish? Ooh, double turbo pun.
Ooh. Ugh. Shivers.
It'd be really funny is like you're like, I do a lot of sucking, and it cuts to like what I'm thinking, and it's just like you with a malt.
Ooh, I could go for a root beer float.
Same difference.
Maybe I'll ask Cubby to bring me one.
Fair enough.
I mean, Wiener Schnitzel does make them, so.
You are correct.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like letting my brain, trying to let my brain relax, so yeah.
Right.
My brain is mushy mush mush.
Yes.
A lot of people are playing Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, Deceased Crab is doing a playthrough of it right now.
It's
Says
so
something.
adorable.
Yeah, I'd be like, it's basically the Binding of Isaac done over.
Although I hated the Binding of Isaac, so.
Right. Like, it's really cute, but then you realize, like, the concepts it's playing at are just like, that's dark as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, Sausage. You have a tough life.
Clearly, I mean, he's your dog. You make him suffer, clearly.
Obviously.
We've seen the pictures, the suffering he's put through. And I quote my old boy Rusty. He starves me! I just fed you 6 chicken nuggets, shut the hell up.
Oh yeah, Return to Monkey Island comes out this month.
Oh, that's fun.
On
Like a new game or like a remake of Return to Monkey Island?
No, it's a new game.
Ooh.
It'll be for Switch and PC.
I mean, I'll get it for PC, but woo.
Specifically coming out on Talk Like a Pirate Day.
I'm not shocked.
What the fuck else is coming out that I care about? I don't care about, like, most of this shit.
Itchy, itchy, itch. Ugh.
The Last of Us Part 1 came out.
Did you guys see that clip going around on the internet of the guy asking the couple if he can pet him if he's nice? He pets the guy walking the dog. Makes me laugh.
No, I have not.
Guy's walking down the street, I don't know where this is, and he looks at the woman and he goes, "Can I pet him? Will he bite?" She goes, he might nibble you a little bit, but it's pretty safe. And he walks up to the guy walking the dog and he just like pets him on the shoulder. The guy starts laughing. It's like, see, I knew you wouldn't bite me. The guy just bursts into laughter.
Oh, so very nice.
He then does pet the dog the guy's walking, but I just thought that.
Crack-a-lackin'.
My butt is starting to fall asleep.
Too bad it's the only part of you that's falling asleep.
Yeah.
When how sleep deprived you are.
How dare it fall asleep when I can't?
My legs are always falling asleep, and I'm like, God damn it, why can't the rest of me do that?
Yeah.
I feel for you guys, man.
I
Because
don't
I'm
know
like,
what happened.
there are days when I'm like, I can't fall asleep either, and I'm like, the fuck?
Hmm. I did something to my back in my sleep the other night, and it just kept me up all night.
I woke up with a stomach ache, but then, like, about, I don't know, probably about 6 a.m., all of a sudden my body was like, okay, let's do this. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well, good night, folks.
Alright, so.
Somebody's alarm is going off.
It's 1 o'clock. That's my,
Mm.
did you actually take your medication alarm? And yes, I did.
Not take your medication, but did you take your medication? If not, now is your last chance. After
Yeah.
this, no roads back from redemption exist. Shit.
Ooh. Fun,
What?
fun, fun.
Hmm?
Oh, I sent, so I previously, I gotten, the one set of dice for myself, and then I also bought a second set for someone else because, the reason I got it was because they are writing a story that I am absolutely in love with. I love the storyline. I love how she's portraying they're portraying the characters. Um, and there's a tarot deck in it that's a Luna deck, so kind of moon stars type thing. And that's kind of what the dice are for. So I got them that, and then I was like, kind of how I get gifts from people sometimes is like I'll look at something in a store and they'll be like, "Oh, this so and so would really like this." So that's kind of what I did as well. I was like, "Ooh." So I sent a package on Saturday, and per the USPS, it should get there by 9 p.m. tonight.
Ooh, neat.
Oh.
I'm kind of surprised the power hasn't gone out while we're doing this.
I'm glad it hasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
part of me was expecting it to happen, but I'm really glad it didn't. Yesterday it went out twice.
Oof.
That is no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of funny because it's like the day after we get home, from vacation, it's like all of a sudden the one whatever it's called, we hear a boom and it's like, oh, the power's out. Okay. Transformer. That's what I was trying to think of. Transformers.
Ah. Yeah, that would be frightening.
Yeah, it's far enough away that it wasn't like a huge noise, but like I know exactly where it is, and it's like literally right like 2 minutes away. So you could hear it, and then it was like, oh, well, Power's off.
Hmm.
Let's go pick up the dog. Ugh. Oh, and then we were trying to figure out because we're like, okay, the fridge isn't cooling off as great, so we had someone take a look at it, and one of the fans was broken, so it's like a $90 fix. So we're like, hey, at least we don't need to get a new fridge, at least right now. So. I can't wait. Yes, I feel like I'm gonna hear this person's like yells of joy from here. Oh, they're in Colorado, so it's and I'm in Ohio, but I feel like they're gonna, because one of the things was a pencil case type thing with an octopus on it.
Ooh.
And so like it's white and then the octopus is like black gray tone. Also some shells and a pin that says Zen as fuck, but like there's like a little flower peace sign in place of the U and fuck, which one of their favorite characters in Overwatch is Zenyatta, so that's why when I saw that pin I had to get it for them, because I was like, they're gonna find this funny.
Do you guys want to call it here?
Seems like we might.
Big round things to talk about.
Yeah, because we're at the point of like we're just sitting here staring at each other like,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that reminds me, Kiki.
Yeah.
You're a little dinosaur. There is something I found on Amazon. That's a T-Rex holding a toilet paper roll.
Oh,
And it says, "Your butt tissues, my lord."
I want it.
Great. Hold on. I had to throw it in my cart because I was like, okay, here we go. I will share it. Your butt napkins, my lord. Sorry, it's the butt napkins. There we go. Your butt napkins, my lord. It's just like, it's just silly enough.
Ooh, that's a pretty cheap price.
Mm. All right. Well,
Thanks for podding with me, everybody.
Indeed.
I'm gonna go clean my kitchen.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Most excellent.
Bye.
Toodles.
Bye.
Where the fuck is the recorder? Okay.
And I swear to God, if you lost recording, I'm gonna laugh at you all night long.
Shut up.
Wah ha ha!
Shut
Wah
up.
ha ha!
Thank you once again for listening to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Mish. Things are on fire and flooding other places, but at least you have the experience that was this podcast. Farewell, my fellow internet beings.